Previously on Breaking Point.
You want my advice? Prove him wrong. Chin up.
Here we go, bit of ERS usage there. It's going to be very close to the inside. He's going to squeeze as we make contact on the left front.
So there's no current tensions within the team?
Well, that's up to Casper. Maybe he thinks I'm yet to prove myself. Who knows? Hopefully today's gone some way to doing that.
Dives to the inside there. We're going to go wide a little bit. Lock up on the front right tyre to give him the space and give him some respect that he maybe doesn't deserve from us.
What a race for young Aiden Jackson. If he can keep this up, he's got a long, promising career in front of him.
And so Chapter 5 begins. We've just proven ourselves there with Aiden in the last part and the last two races we've done at the French and British Grand Prix. Now we move on to the next chapter. While the grid heads to Monza, the team at Alfa Romeo have managed to find some welcome consistency during the second half of 2020. Both drivers are hungry to gain ground in the competition, but Aiden Jackson is determined to outperform his teammate Casper Ackermann, both in the standings and in the eyes of the team.
I'm not sure if it's something to do with the energy storage. I'm losing power on the straights.
Right. And you said the acceleration was okay? I'll take a look at it.
And how are we today, chaps? Everything running smoothly, I hope?
All right, Brian. Yeah, we're just going through a few last-minute tweaks.
Ah, that's what I like to see. With dedication like that, maybe you'll be able to get us back a few more of those points, eh?
Yeah, I'll try.
Actually, Aiden, I'm glad I've caught up with you. Thought you might like to know. I had a call this morning from Mattia Binotto. Mentioned you directly.
Oh.
I think they're sniffing around for next season. You're being watched.
So, no pressure then?
So, what's the problem with the car?
I'm losing power on the straights. It's not a massive issue. I'm sure we can deal with it.
Yeah, theoretically, do we have time to install the Spec 2 unit before the race?
Yes, boss.
And Casper's reporting no problems?
No.
Okay. Let's do it. Put the Spec 2 in Aiden's, would you?
Well, that would sort it. I mean, if you're sure.
Of course. You could do with a little boost. A little boost. Besides, anything for our star driver. Casper, how are you today? Feeling good about the race?
Holy hell. Anything but for our star driver. That is the infamous line we've heard ever since the teaser trailer of this game and story. And I thought the entire time that was going to be for our teammate, for Ackermann. I thought we were going to be... Are we the bad guys? Are we the one being given all the treatment? It seems so. Brian there being very cheeky and Ackermann not being too pleased for obvious reasons. But that is a curveball now in this story with how I'm viewing this.
Brian.
Aiden, I'm glad I've caught you. Listen, don't worry about Casper.
Let me stop you there. Brian, Casper's the furthest thing from my mind right now. I've got a race to focus on.
Good man. In the garage just now, that was my fault. I know how he can be.
What, childish? Self-centered? I'm sick of it, Brian. He's been on my case ever since I joined the team. He needs to grow up.
Okay. You just leave Casper to me and get your head in the race. Let's put that new power unit to good use, eh?
Sure thing, Brian. See you on the other side.
I don't know how to actually feel, you know. This is just taking a different turn. We had a turn before when Devin Butler was giving us some advice and kind of became almost a good guy for us and spurring us on, and that worked. Last episode we stormed through France and the British Grand Prix with the puncher, but now we're being put out as the bad guy, at least in terms of, like, we're getting the preferential treatment here. Obviously, we're still playing as Aiden, we're the main guy, so at the same time, also we've had the result, so we do deserve to get a new power unit, for example, into Italy. But even there with the phone call with Brian, Aiden being quite harsh with Casper, saying he's being quite childish. Obviously, anyone would be a bit disgruntled if you're not going to get a new power unit. unit, but obviously, yeah, I guess Casper could go about it in a nicer way for sure, and stop being kind of stropping around and whatnot in the garage like he was in the cutscene. But okay, this is a different side to Aiden we're seeing. The man we're driving as, and a different side to Brian as well, because who knew Brian was so cheeky? I thought he was going to be everyone's kind of best mate, but, you know, kind of clearly sees that Aiden is the number one here, that we are the kind of future here with Alfa Romeo, and we're the one doing the business, and he's given us a little cheeky, better treatment there. But we've got a bit of change of plan according to our PA, so they're now doing an interview before the photo shoot tomorrow. This means you should probably try and what they sent over tonight. They'll definitely be asking you about what they thought about the collection, so make sure everything's in your hotel room, laid out and ready to go. Also, Colin Perry from Trackside has been hassling us again, I'm wondering if we should just bite the bullet and do the interview. For some reason, I get a bad feeling about this Colin Perry interview. Like, it's coming up too often in the emails for me to think, like, if we take it, is that going to trigger a cutscene and whatnot where, you know, we've said something wrong? And then just another little tidbit there from our PA giving us the lifestyle of Formula 1 driver, of, you know, having to do these shoots and interviews and having to wear certain things before you talk about them and all the usual sponsor and PR stuff. And we've got Colin Perry asking once again for the interview. So he's being very persistent. He's the head F1 columnist, to be fair, of Trackside. So, you know, it may not be that bad, but at the same time, I feel like there's maybe a reason why they may be showing it to us so often in the emails, but maybe not. I don't know. But, yeah, very interesting dynamic then going into this Italian Grand Prix. We've got Jackson looking to take full advantage of his car's new power unit, and to the vexation of his teammate, Casper Ackermann. With the grid set, his focus locked in, Jackson is eager to show Ackermann why Alfa Romeo signed him. Italian Grand Prix, race day.
The tension is building here at the circuit as the start of today's Formula 1 Grand Prix draws ever nearer. What drama awaits us between now and the checkered flag? Well, we'll find out in just a few moments' time. With top speeds up to 215 miles per hour and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Here we are then, Monza, the 90th time this event has been held, so a special year for F1 fans, particularly the Italians, who are rightly proud of this event and its heritage.
Yeah, it always feels a bit special here, doesn't it, Crofty? Hamilton holds the joint record with Schumacher for number of wins here at 5 apiece, but could snatch it outright today with a 6.
Nearly 100 years of history here, so let's see what this year holds in store for the Italian Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ackermann, Carlos Sainz and Perez, Norris, Ricciardo, Stroll and Alexander Albon, Ocon, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Butler, Vettel, Grosjean, George Russell and Aiden Jackson, Magnussen and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, let's see if we can squeeze some performance out of this new power unit. Good luck out there today.
So, despite the new power unit, I'm guessing we had a mistake in qualifying or something or other, or we've got such a powerful power unit that we didn't think we need to qualify that well, but we qualified in P18, so we've got all the work to do to show off the new power unit we've got. I'm actually curious to see if it actually feels like we've got more power than Ackermann, or just like other cars around us, maybe. I kind of hope there will be, because obviously otherwise we're not going to actually be going too far up the order then from P18, but, you know, that is the name of the game. To beat Ackermann, I guess, is the objective here today. It's going to be a usual 25% race like we had last time in the last part with the French Grand Prix, where they're, you know, instead of going mid-race and giving us a very, you know, small scenario, this is for us to take ownership of the entire race and do the business for Jackson, basically. But we're going to start on the soft compound, of course, then pit around, you know, lap 6 or 7 onto a set of medium tyres. Fuel will lower down, but it's just all full steam ahead then, I guess. And it's time to go out there for the Italian Grand Prix. Our only objective today is to beat Ackermann Ackerman as we go to 5 red lights to the Italian Grand Prix here in 2020 in the Breaking Point storyline. And let's see what we can do with this new power unit. It's been a pretty okay start, getting penned in a little bit with Romain Grosjean and Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. Easy does it. Bit of a traffic jam into turn 1. Devin Butler and the AlphaTauri there alongside Sebastian Vettel. We go defensive and have to actually try and re-overtake Grosjean and the Haas. So already not too great in the first corner. We've got plenty of time. 13 laps to go. Let's see how this goes. Having to deploy ERS all the way down this Curva Grande, and Grosjean being very aggressive there with the defense and jockeying for position. But we get up into P16 and we can focus on Sebastian Vettel, who's being penned in a bit by Butler. Tried to go down the inside. Butler defending the inside line and compromise Sebastian's line. And we have a really great exit through Ascari section towards Parabolica. Bit of ERS usage, squeezing Vettel all the way to the right, getting boxed in with Butler. Round the outside we go of the German, and then can we try and get a good run and get on the back of Devin Butler. Now, of course, he may have given us some advice, he may have spurred us on, but that doesn't mean we're still going to race him hard and fair enough and squeeze him towards the right-hand side to try and get the move. But Vettel's coming through. It's 3 wide into turn 1. Look at this. Vettel comes back at us. We're down the inside. Butler outbrakes us, and he's actually managed to maintain the position there. So Butler actually going... I may have not been harsh enough on Butler into turn 1 there. Maybe should have really squeezed him in, because he used the inside line to have a go on his teammate Pierre Gasly. We got Vettel at least up into P15, but Butler storming away then, having a go at Gasly round the outside. The two AlphaTauri teammates, easy does it, and Gasly will get squeezed out. We get a good exit, switch from left to right onto the racing line into the inside line here through the right-hander, and just going to let the car roll through onto the left-hand side of the circuit and get up into P14. And now it is the second AlphaTauri. Butler, second bite of the cherry here. No DRS yet, just ERS, but it's the second time now to try and actually overtake him and get the move done. This time we bang tyres, being a bit over-aggressive for good reason with Butler, and this time we give him no room to work with. Get banged on, mate. Get squeezed out. Up into P13, and now we've got clean air to chase after Leclerc. And then we've got, well, Ackerman is up in P6. He qualified so high, so we needed this new power unit to chase after him from P18 on the grid. But at the moment, looking at Leclerc, he goes defensive in the Ferrari. Obviously, Ferrari did not do well at all in real life in 2020, so kind of makes sense for them to be a little bit slow and sluggish here versus ourselves. And can we try and get on them? Obviously, you've got to remember, this is a storyline. It's a different alternate story. So here, the Alfa Romeo, it's a pretty decent car, especially with our new power unit. It's looking likely we're aiming for a top 5 finish here at Monza as we go down the inside, and we've got Leclerc, and now we're getting on the back of Daniel Ricciardo. A little bit of a jink at the steering wheel as we have to try and compose our rear end there over the Ascari curbs. Obviously on this game on F1 2021, the new curbs are quite deadly, and you know, it's the first time we've done Italy. Actually, I've done Italy in Breaking Point before I've done it in my team here, so we're kind of sussing out how the tracks are for the very first time. But trying to close up on Ricciardo now using plenty of ERS. DRS will be available to us as well as Ricciardo though, but let's try and see what we can do in the slipstream. Ricciardo goes defensive to the inside line. Good to see from the AI there, but we go around the outside. Easy does it though, as Albon is there. Have a little, had a brief think about trying to dive bomb Albon into turn 2, but thought better of it. But we get Ricciardo and we're up into P11. Albon is the next man then. Ackerman's still in P6. I can see on the minimap, I think he's in a little train, you know. I think he's just behind a McLaren, it looks like, I think, just up the road. Yes, he is. I think second man in that train up the road. So he's kind of penned in a bit, so hopefully he doesn't make any more progress. And Albon has had a shocking exit off that right-hander, and we absolutely do him into the next right-hander, up into P10 points bend positions, but it doesn't matter where we are position-wise. We're just looking to beat Casper. So here we are, then again, second bite of DRS now on this same lap. Opening, trying to go left. Ocon is really parking his car very awkwardly. We then finally go to the inside. I was having to look around the outside, but then in the end, Ocon actually decided, no, I'm going to actually take the outside line. So I just ducked to the inside there, and we'll get him into P9. End of lap 6 onto 7 now. So we're getting on towards that new pit stop window, going quite long on the soft compound tyre. So the tyre wear, at least in the 25% race, is quite low. Be interesting to see what it is in my team then when we get to it in career mode. But now looking to get Lance Stroll in the racing point as it is in 2020 in this part of the story. And we're up into P8 very close on the left-hand side to the grass, but managed to just keep it out there and keep the momentum going. And now, can we get Perez actually, you know, through into the right-hand? No, I thought better of it. I had a little thought. You saw I had a little thought of it, but now instead going to get him on the exit. DRS open, ERS usage. No, not too bad actually, 52%. We could probably use a little bit more, to be honest, but we're going to just keep it going with DRS and get up into P7. And then as we catch up to Ackerman, we actually come into the pit for our pit stop. So we're going to try and undercut Casper if we can, because, you know, on the previous F1 game, the undercut was always very, very strong around Italy, kind of like it is in real life as well. So let's see if we can do that and then just jump Ackerman just through strategy, really, which I guess, I don't know, to be fair, I would kind of rather pass him on circuit. You guys know me. Strategic passing's all nice and good, but it's kind of nice to have a nice battle on circuit and have the satisfaction in passing them on track. But you got to do what you got to do, and the timing was perfect there, to be fair, in terms of we caught up to Casper, and you know he was going to pit on that next lap, so I didn't want to get boxed in. And so here we are then, we're defending against Ricciardo actually, and we get very close to Ackerman on the right hand side as he comes out the pit lane, but we are past him up into, well, at the moment it's P12, but I think there's a couple of people yet to pit in this Grand Prix then, but we come out behind Leclerc then, despite having overtaken him. So we got the undercut on Casper, but we got overcut by Leclerc. So very, very weird stuff there. We have to try and re-overtake the Ferrari. Couldn't quite do it on that left hand, so have to be patient and wait later on. But we've got the job done, got the objective done. It's now all about how high we can go with this Alfa Romeo, and can we get some higher glory for Aiden Jackson. We just missed out on a podium at the French Grand Prix, so I wonder, could we aim for a podium here? That would be quite something. Obviously, Alfa Romeo, Italian brand. It would be very, very nice to get the podium here at the Italian Grand Prix, and in a race where we have the better power unit. And in terms of, you know, kind of sticking it to the man, sticking it to Casper, we've already dug it in having the new power unit. We're already ahead of him. We can now rub it in even more if we get a podium. Like, I dread to think what he's going to be thinking if we go on to get a podium. Right now, Leclerc comes back at us, but we're going to try and dive bomb Esteban Ocon in the Renault. Just about miss Lance Stroll narrowly, but we've been overtaken by Stroll then. I'm pretty sure we got ahead of him before, so we've been, the overcut has actually worked really well for a lot of these guys then. So let's try and re-overtake Stroll and then get on the back of Lando Norris. Stroll hits the grass, and this time we do get the move on the inside. Couldn't quite get it on Perez before, got it on Stroll now, and Perez is re-overtaking us, so we have to try and get him again, and we're looking to get Lando Norris as well. He's on the hards, Perez on the mediums, a bit of a difference there in tyre compounds, but as we go through Ascari, nice left-hander, riding that curb like an absolute skateboard here. Little bit of wobble on the rear end, but it's fine. It's planted now in the ERS, climbing the gears now, trying to suss out where Norris is going to go. Where can we go? Do we dive down the inside? No, Norris moves to the inside. We make a bit of contact with Lando Norris. Is he not sure where he wants to go? He kind of just stayed in the middle, and that confused me. On the exit though, here we go, through Parabolica, onto a brand new lap number 11. It's a drag race in a straight line. DRS open, not quite got the speed though versus the McLaren. Want to save the ERS, so not using too much there and overusing it, but under braking we can get Lando into turns 1 and 2, and we're up into P7, 4 positions away from a podium. I don't know, Albon P5, 6 and Perez 6. We can get those guys. Don't know about the podium though, that may be a little bit too far away. Lewis Hamilton though wins the Grand Prix, and in the end of it we can't actually even catch Perez and Albon because the laps have fallen away. The 25% race has come and gone in a flash, and we get P7 in the end, so not quite the podium, but we smashed Ackerman. I think he's out at the points now, and we've got our lucky number P7, my lucky number P7.
Well, 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 quite the rivalry forming between the rookie Aiden Jackson and his veteran teammate Casper Ackerman.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of when Hamilton signed for McLaren back in 2007. And we all know how that one ended. Alonso returned to Renault pretty much the moment the season wrapped up.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. So it's a decent result for you today with a finish in the points. How are you feeling, Aiden?
I have absolutely battered my teammate. That's how I'm feeling. But we've got a decent choice. It went well. Any points are points after all. A good result. But I feel there's room for improvement. I'm glad I could deliver for the team and be the one to come out on top ahead of Casper. Now, I would go for the bottom answer and kind of stick it to Casper. But also remember, in part 2, We had an email from a PR guy to say we need to maybe take it a little bit easy potentially, but I feel like we should just go for that because, you know, screw it. We did smash him. That's what happened. And there's no other way to go about it, really. So, yeah.
I'm just glad I could deliver for the team. Casper and I are both trying to push ourselves as much as we can. So it can get a bit competitive. It is a good feeling to be the one coming out on top.
A big talking point, irrespective of today's results, is how you've improved overall throughout the season. What would you say to that?
We're now going to win over the team in case they're a little bit annoyed at maybe that answer and say, I couldn't do it without the support of the team. Yeah, they've been incredible. Obviously, we got the new engine, so that support's been incredible. Brian Doyle, my G, giving me the new power unit. So, yeah, we're going to go with that one. That may irk Casper even more, maybe. I don't know.
I couldn't do it without the support of the team. They've been incredible. I'm feeling looked after, and I couldn't ask for more. So any improvements are thanks to them.
It's funny you should mention the team as a whole. Can you give us an update? How is the current relationship between you and Casper Ackerman?
Okay, now on this one I'm going to throw caution in the wind and go with the left one. We could go with the right, but we've already said that before, and we got an email from the PR guy, so let's just balance it out a bit and just go, we're fine, we're fine.
Look, driver relationships are always going to be tricky. Individually, you're always pushing yourselves, and that can cause friction. I can't let anything like that worry me. Besides, we're fine.
Appreciate your time.
So the tension is certainly heating up. We didn't get any fallout from that Italian Grand Prix then. We didn't kind of get to see if Casper was annoyed or what. I'm guessing he was. And we move into Chapter 6 then 2 months later at the Mexican Grand Prix. With only a handful of races remaining in the season, time is running out for Alfa Romeo to secure the points needed to finish above their mid-pack rivals in the Constructors' Championship. A dip in form over the last few races has seen the team desperately hoping for a strong performance from both rookie Aiden Jackson and veteran Casper Ackerman. So 2 months have passed. I'm sure the tensions have risen even more between us, but we've had a few bad races as a team, so we need to kind of maybe put that aside, and this is the time where we just need to both do well. So if we're gonna maybe meet Casper at some point in the race or whatever, I'm going to make sure we don't hinder him too much or whatever. Don't do anything funny. You know, we'll squeeze out Butler as per usual. But, you know, with him, it looks like where the team is, we need to both score well then at the Mexican Grand Prix. But let's take a phone call from our mother.
Mum?
Aiden, I'm here.
Oh, good. After that flight delay, I was starting to get concerned.
Don't worry. Everything's fine.
And they're looking after you?
Better than at Silverstone.
Good, because you were my lucky charm there, Mum. And I'm hoping you do the same here.
I'll try, love. Now just do what you do, and everything will be great.
I know. Mirror signal maneuver.
And always stick to the speed limit.
I'll try.
Have a great race, Aiden. I'll see you after.
I'm so pleased you're here, Mum. This one's for you, eh?
She is a full-blown corny mum, bringing that up again. And the fact that we now have to say that the phrase that she said about the whole buckling up and manoeuvre and that stuff. Like, come on, man. Don't buy into the motherly banter. You start doing that, then they think they're funny. It's that standard thing. You laugh at your dad's joke, your mum's joke. They think they're funny. They think they're the biggest comedian in the world. And that's just a problem. Anyway, moving that aside. Right, so we've got a mum here again for Mexico then. So we've flown her way out. But yeah, as Aiden said, hopefully she's the good luck charm here. But to all Alfa Romeo, Frederick Vasseur saying about pushing in the last few races. We've had ups and downs. Humbled every time to see creativity, I can't speak, and dedication that everyone brings to any challenge we face. As we head into the home straight, let's keep our hard work and vision strong and see if we can bring in some more points for the team. We will try and do our best, my guy. Read through your interview. Oh, so we did the interview trackside. Okay, so that just went. Okay, so I guess that wasn't actually that was not a smaller thing than I thought it was going to be. So we've done it in the background then, the trackside interview with Colin Perry, and it was well done, well handled, with Claire as well. And Brian saying what a lovely guy he was, and I'm a good ambassador for the team. Well, there we go. We're getting pretty good at all this, Aiden. Good stuff, good stuff. We're a good ambassador for the team. We're clearly the star driver. Brian loves us. Frederick loves us. We're getting a better power unit. We're getting the preferential treatment, and the press love us, and it's all going our way. It's all swimmingly well, apart from the actual on-performance apart from the on-track performance, going into this one, clearly we need to do better. And obviously I can control the races in between Italy or Mexico. If I had it my way, I think we'd be, you know, solid in the championship. But it is what it is. We're here. We're given what we are in this story. And so we move into the Mexican Grand Prix mid-race with only a handful of laps remaining. Alfa Romeo looking to both of its drivers for points in order to improve their position in the standings. So like I said, we need to both do well. So if we meet Casper at some point on track, I'm going to try my best not to hinder him at all. No funny games. One last push is needed from Aiden Jackson, desperate to keep the pace with his teammate Casper Ackerman.
How's it feeling out there, Aiden?
Yeah, good. I think we can start to push a little. Where's Casper?
Ahead of you. Don't worry about Casper, Aiden. Let's just improve your current position.
Yeah, copy.
So it sounds like there we're feeling the heat a little bit. Aiden having to take a heavy breath here in Mexico, but he was very concerned where Ackerman was, but we're just going to try and get as many points as we can, I think. Obviously the objective, I think, is still to beat Ackerman or catch up to him, I think it said, by a certain lap, but we're just going to try and push hard and get as many points as we can as well. At the moment, Ackerman's in 8th place, so you'd kind of hope we can maybe improve on that. And, you know, get like a 7 or 8 or 6 or 8 or whatever to, you know, help ourselves in the championship. So we get past Lance Stroll with ease in Sector 3. That was previously on the last lap. Lap number 13, then closing up to Sebastian Vettel in a straight line, going for the dive on the inside. Vettel went a little bit close to us on the right and he makes some contact with him. He's still got his nose in, but we go around the outside. We get the job done into turn 2, but a massive tank slapper, and we almost put it in the wall in the grass. We made a mistake, and we're down to P12 once again, and Vettel, with the experience and knowledge in between on his shoulders there, is just taking it calm and just let us make the mistake, and so we have to try and come back at him now. Vettel in the middle, awkward there, but big dive down the inside into the stadium section, bit awkward through the right-hander. We're up into P11, and now we catch up to Valtteri Bottas. Bottas, what are you doing here, mate? What's happened to you? P10. I mean, it's usual Bottas stuff, isn't it? Well, we're going to overtake Bottas then into turn 1, lap number 15, then 3 laps to go. Not too long till that. I think it was lap 16, was it? Did the objective say we have to catch up to Ackerman before? He's 2 cars ahead, so we need to push on then. Ricardo is up next. Then it's a McLaren, I think, of Norris, potentially. So let's push on and try and catch up to those 2. Ricardo, yes, it is Norris, the 2 current McLaren teammates, but Ricardo in the Renault right now here in 2020 Mexico. Purple first sector, good stuff, being held up a little bit though by Ricardo in the second, but we're just going to be patient, get the exit. Here we go, DRS open as well, ERS deploying down to single digits, 9%, so have to watch out for that, but we're easing it through into P9, now catching up to Norris and then Ackerman as well. And
it's clear from anyone watching either in the stands or at home, the determination on show from Alfa Romeo and Aiden Jackson today.
No, you're not wrong there, and his performance has improved race by race throughout the season, and his driving today, impeccable. Here's a test for him now, though, as they head down the main straight. There's a lot of friction between these 2, and his teammates after him. Will he budge?
Hold position, Aiden.
Oh, I've never seen anything like this on a racetrack before. 2 teammates wheel to wheel.
Keep it clean.
Inches separating them, and they crash. Oh, they've come together in spectacular style, and they're both out of the race.
Holy moly. Oh no. Oh no. I knew as soon as that breaking point music chime that's on the main menu started playing subtly behind, that it was going to be ropes. Disaster. With neither driver willing to concede the position, Jackson and Ackerman make contact heading to turn 1. Both cars sustain terminal damage, ending the race for Alfa Romeo pairing and shattering the team's dream of securing a top 5 position in the Constructors' Championship. Mexican Grand Prix, we're going to the post-race. Oh crap, this is not going to end well. We're going to get a bollocking. Brian is going to turn into not so nice guy anymore. Please say they're going to go fists up and have like a scrap in the paddock or something. We're going to find out in a bit, but okay, things are getting spicy. Oh, the aftermath. Oh, the music. I think things are about to kick off. Never a good sign when a driver doesn't take his helmet off. Means he's guilty. Alright, mate. No need to shake your head that much, mate. You're not involved. You're Brian. Oh, we're going to Brian's room. Oh, no.
Close the door. Sit down.
Ah, we're in trouble.
What the hell was going on out there? We've invested millions in you two. Millions. And look at you both. Acting like a couple of school kids. You've got a lot to prove this year, boy. And you're swanning around like butter wouldn't melt. And as for you, you should know better. I'm disgusted. You should both be ashamed.
Brian,
Not a word. Not a single word. I should fire you both right here and now. You've screwed our chances this season. The team is bigger than you two and your petty squabbles. Grow up! Any more, and you're both out. You hear me? I'll finish the season behind the wheel myself if I have to. Both of you, jet out.
Well, that was a bollocking. And I've never seen Brian so pissed off. And to be fair, Casper doesn't look... I mean... that is frosty. That is frosty. And we are now... Oh, we're following Casper, you know. We're not going to follow Aiden. What's Casper got to say?
Go away.
Hey.
Oh, it's his wife.
Hey.
So,
okay.
What did he say?
Threatened to fire both of us.
He won't.
That's not the point.
I'll just leave you be.
Is Lily okay? Does she know I'm safe?
Yeah, she saw you climb out. She's fine. I left her with your mother.
Okay, good.
You've survived worse, you know?
Doesn't make it any easier.
Maybe not, but you're not hurt. And you have a family who'll love you. The rest are just details. I'll see you later.
She's right. She's right. You're safe and sound, man. A lot to think about, though, for Casper and Aiden, it would seem like. But okay, we saw his wife for the first time. We knew that she was going to be a character in the game. I was wondering when we were going to see her. But, okay. So, that was the first time, really, we saw anything about Casper as a character away from what we know from Aiden's perspective. And actually, you know what? We are actually now... We're in Ackerman's shoes. This is his motorhome, where you can see the follower name on the top, 1.2 million. So our veteran team at Ackerman is quite well known, it would seem, really big time in this kind of alternate universe of Formula 1. But we are now playing as him. We've got people like Lucas Weber tweeting about us, a little nod to the old F2 story mode, F1 2019 there, as well as we had one in my team as well. But okay, so at the moment we are in Ackerman's little F1 cooldown room. So I wonder is the next chapter, do we get to play for like Ackerman for like a chapter and kind of step into his shoes maybe? We've got emails from obviously Brian and Frederick, you know, about the whole meeting thing, and we've got an email from Lucas Weber. I hope you're okay. So relieved to see you walk it off, and I can only imagine what you're going through right now with the team. Stay strong, my friend. So, Lucas Weber apparently is a friend of Ackerman here. Cool. And like I said in the My Team Career Mode episode, part 2, lovely to see Lucas making a little cameo here in the story mode here as well in F1 2021, not just the My Team emails and personnel departments. And we've got email cancellations in light of the... Okay, they've cancelled some PR sessions. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting, juicy chapter number 6. And it looks like we might be we're going to the next season. So 2021, we're beginning beginning of the 2021 season next time out, and part number 4, and we may possibly be driving as Ackerman, it looks like, or we're in his shoes right at the moment, I don't know. But you'll have to wait till the next one, guys. But if you have enjoyed this very juicy part number 3, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, do get subscribed for that part coming out tomorrow. Daily uploads of this series and the My Team career mode. But till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.